the hot topic at the moment is interest-only mortgages and whether they are inherently a good or a bad idea. And there are people who would suggest that if you've opted for an interest-only mortgage, you've somehow bottled out and you've taken a shortcut to be able to get onto the housing ladder in a way that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. Now, I'm not sure I subscribe to that idea. I do think that we may well see the interest-only mortgages in due course to become something of a scandal. Perhaps it might even surpass the PPI scandal of the last 12 months. And financial institutions may find themselves at the wrong end of a witch hunt about whether certain people were actually missold the interest-only product. Because, of course, what everybody's terrified of is that people can afford their mortgage repayments on an interest-only basis for the term of their mortgage for 25 years. But at the end of it, how do they pay off the capital sum that's outstanding? Now, some people will have made provision for that. The vast majority of people won't. And that's what terrifies an awful lot of people, both those who have interest-only mortgages and commentators who are looking at the phenomenon of the interest-only mortgage. Longer term, I suspect that, as we've seen from the Nationwide who've withdrawn their interest-only products through 2012, that we're going to see far fewer of these put out there. But I don't think there's anything necessarily fundamentally wrong with an interest-only product, and I certainly don't think it's something that people need to be alarmed or scared or concerned by, but they do need to take a mature and objective approach, and lenders who are peddling these products do certainly need to make sure that people understand the difference between a repayment product and an interest-only product. It's only when people have been perhaps misled or indeed missold that we find that we have got a problem, and it remains to be seen whether interest-only mortgage products are going to turn out to be the iceberg that brings down financial institutions in the way that perhaps some of them have been scuppered by PPI. There are some household names out there who are going to have some red faces, because at some point we'll move on from PPI and all the concerns surrounding that, and people will start to look, quite understandably and quite rightly, at whether a certain number of people, and we don't know whether that certain number is going to be small or huge, I think it will be significant, but whether there were a significant number of people who took an interest-only mortgage product, but perhaps looking back on it with the opportunity to reflect, we think that actually perhaps that they shouldn't have done that, and they will claim and perhaps convince a court or a regulator or an ombudsman that they were missold that product. Definitely one to watch in 2013. It could be a big problem for the finance industry.